Welcome to this one-to-one. I'm Peter Martin. I'm delighted to say our special guest is Steven Naismith of Hearts in Scotland. It's hard to say it to you, but you're in the twilight of your career. How long can the legs go? How long do you want to play to?
I want to play as long as I can. And that older players in my career have always said that you're a long time retired. So I feel good. It's just it's more of a lifestyle change than just turning up to training day by day. You need to think about the full week and months ahead. But the key is the routine. If you get that, then and you're performing on Saturday, then you'll continue to play for years to come.
Yeah, let me take you back to that long crop of blonde hair, strutting your stuff out there for Kilmarnock. What was the best bit of advice you got then that still stands you in good stead now?
It might sound daft, but I was one for asking a lot of questions, and you sometimes take a bit of stick for boys and that, but a lot of the older pros were like, look, it's good that you are asking, don't be afraid to ask, whether you think it's the most stupid question or whatever, just ask, because it's the only way to find out, and you learn from it.
Yeah, and when you look at the style of player that you are and the managers that you've worked under, where did you feel as if your game changed the most over that period?
I think the foundations of the way I play in terms of energetic, work hard and be a real team player haven't changed, but I probably changed the most under Martinez. I'd say when he came in, very expansive, how he seen his forward players defending. I think one of his first comments to me was that I worked too hard, which I found it really strange to hear that manager tell me that, but then when you work out where he needs you to be most effective and in what areas of the pitch, and it made a lot of sense. So I probably learned the most from him, and just as the years go on, you learn from the mistakes you make, and the ones, especially the ones that get punished for the team, that you learn from them and you know not to do them again.
I've spoken to more than a few of your players, your teammates, who mentioned to me the perception of Steven Naismith on the park is the opposite of Steven Naismith off the park. Fair comment?
Yeah, no, it is. It's that thing that a lot of boys growing up have, that the determination to win and want to win. That was something that I'm a bad loser. I want to win everything I do, and it comes out in the pitch. Yeah,
where did that come from? Was that something that was instilled in you through your family life?
I think it must have been. I've always had been that, even when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. Any decision that was made back then, I was claiming for every decision, even the ones I knew I was wrong in. But it's a will to win. And again, going back to when you learn that, I think I learned that most when I went to Rangers. Was you had characters in there that were winners, and to succeed at these clubs, you need to be a winner.
Yeah, and with that in mind, suddenly you move from a Kilmarnock side to a Rangers side that's got no disrespect to Kilmarnock, but there's more quality there that you can feed off. Who was the player that you looked at and thought, I can learn off him, or I'm starting to see qualities that I can instill in myself?
As a player, I was fortunate that I made my Scotland debut in the May. Moved to Rangers in the August time, so I got a glimpse of, if you like, a higher quality of player. So I went away this summer and kind of thought, I'm a good bit off where you need to be, and then you go into Rangers, and the two biggest were Davy Weir and Barry Ferguson were the ones that you see Fergie's desire to win first of all, and he's wouldn't accept anything less than the best in training, and then everything kind of off the pitch. What Davy Weir done was incredible, and that was probably the two I picked up off the quickest. And then just everybody around the club, your Durrants, your McCoys, the gaffer at the time, you know what they have, and you know what you need to do to win, and they've done it for year after year after year, and that's what drove me at the time. Pretty quickly when I went to Rangers, I got a bad knee injury, and you come back from that and you think, I don't know if I'm going to make. I think I'm going to see this contract out and then go back the way. But then you get that belief again, and it pushes you on. Yeah,
you mentioned there some of the strong characters. The one thing that I always hear from that Rangers dressing room is pranks, people who wind each other up. Was there anyone you were on DEFCON 4 red alert? Was there a day when you thought, I've been done here?
There's probably many days that I felt I'd been done, but it was a fantastic dressing room for that, and especially when you're playing in Europe and a lot of big games, you're in hotels a lot, so every time you're in a hotel there was a fair group. And with the good group of guys, Whittaker, Thompson, Boyd, Kirk Broadfoot, Fergie, Lee McCulloch, the list is endless, and every day there was something else going on. Burkey was there, Stevie Smith, and it was a great dressing room to be involved in, but there was a fair few pranks as well.
Yeah. You mentioned being picked for Scotland. You're 49 caps. What would it mean, that 50th one, for you?
It means so much. One of the biggest achievements I've had in my career. I've won a few trophies, played in the Premiership, but playing for Scotland was, in all honesty, growing up I never really thought, you go to the games and you watch them, but I never really thought I'll play for Scotland. And then you get your first cap, and I was a late call-in, so I was thinking, oh, it's great, but it's not being picked on ahead of everybody else on merit. And then that comes, and before you know it, you drift into your 30s and late 30s into 40 caps, and I was close. You start thinking about the 50th, and then I went a good period without really playing, being on the fringes, and in all honesty, I didn't think I'd get anywhere near it. I think when I was at 45, 46, I never thought I'd get near it, and then all of a sudden I'm in 49, so it's the short-term goals. It's one of the biggest things that's driving me at the moment.
Yeah, you mentioned down south, the Premiership, Everton, Norwich. Do you look upon it as, I mean, you've had your fair few injuries, but do you look upon Everton and Norwich as, fulfilling a good part of your ambition in a positive way, or do you think I could have done better?
Again, I had no notion of playing in the Premiership. I went to Rangers, and I'd have probably stayed at Rangers my career if the situation didn't go as it did. But going down to England, it's a different world. I never knew much about it until I went down there, and the quality is unbelievable. Everything that surrounds the league is amazing. And then again, it's one of those moments where you need to perform or you're not going to last. And I quickly realised that, and kind of fought. I felt as if I had to fight for what I got at Everton, and worked hard and got my rewards for staying in the team. But going down there was something that I really enjoyed, but I wouldn't have said it was a burning desire before I did it.
Yeah, I've got to ask you, there's, I mean, first of all, I hear you're making a fantastic pizza these days. I mean, where did that come about?
No, I'm not personally making them, but there is something going on down in Ayrshire, but it's been a good success so far.
Yeah, I'm looking, there's a pizza, and there's apparently lots of kids walking about in oversized strips that you seem to supply for everybody. The one thing that resonates, throughout it all is you seem to do things in the background that you don't really want any, publicity for. I mean, I thought the best one was the people in Liverpool Job Centre can't afford tickets for games. You go out and get them. You're very strong on the Dyslexia Scotland, and over and above that, the homeless. Where did that drive to get involved in that without and trying to stay, under the radar?
Something I've probably grown up with around the town that I was from a working class kind of family. So I've appreciated all that I've got. My parents tried to give me everything they could, and then you're thrown into the football world, and it all goes great for the first 5 or so years. You're playing well, you're getting a move to Rangers, doing really well there, and there just became a point that I thought social media was kind of building up then, and all of a sudden just kind of think it's an unbelievable platform to raise awareness, to get involved in some charities and that I felt I liked what the people done. And what I do is a very small part of what the bigger picture is. And it's maybe a day or an afternoon every so often out of my schedule, which isn't a lot to give up to make a big difference. And it's more the reward of hearing the feedback from people. It makes a big difference, and it works, and it's hopefully changed a few people's lives.
Yeah, I've got to say to you, and I've got to admit openly that we're following you about, just to see what kind of car you're driving, because obviously the last time we were in your company, Samuel Eto'o had a yellow Ferrari. I think Ed McGeady had a 1967 Ford Mustang. Have you been tempted? Is there any way you're going to change?
No, I had my classic Mini for a bit, but I've had to give that up now. So I'm on a new Mini, which is a good shape, nice car. So I'm not a massive fan of cars. These guys are into them. It's a hobby and it's an investment, but it's a runabout for me.
Yeah, a couple of points to finish. I said perception and reality of Steven Naismith off the park and on the park. The Hearts fans, some of them, because I lived there and understand their ethos, they didn't quite get, when you get a player on a level who's got that will to win, it was a kind of a rude awakening for them, you coming into the side, because boy do you moan the face off everybody on the park.
Well, to be honest, that's the way I've been from my Kilmarnock days. I think if you ask any player, it's that desire to win and understanding what needs to be done. As simple as that. And at Hearts, especially when I went in, they had a young squad of guys who had potential but probably not had much first team exposure, and yeah, they did get a rude awakening when I came in the door, but hopefully it benefits them, they understand. And I think over the time, the more and more the young boys will chat to you about being down in England, playing for Rangers and playing in Europe and stuff like that, so they understand it, they want it, but they just need to understand what it takes to get it.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Has Hearts surprised you as a club?
Yeah, I would say so. It's always different when you go and play these teams away from home, and that you don't actually know the full background of the club, but from being on the other side at Hearts, it's a fantastic club. What they've done, first of all, what the fans have done since the mess they were in, can't be underestimated, that achievement. But then the club's built on good foundations now. The fans put in, but they're looking to go to fan ownership, and now probably the most recent thing is that the squad's now getting a bit of experience, a bit of competition, and now needs to flourish and challenge at the top end of the table, where as a club the size of them they should be, but in recent years it's not happened.
And no, let's finish off by the way we started. You want to play for as long as possible. Would you like to one day manage a Hearts, a Kilmarnock, all those clubs that you've played for?
I think I would, yeah. It's definitely something that I want to do when I finish, but I think I've done my B licence, and doing that while you're a player, you subconsciously take your mind off the fully focused on playing, and I found that difficult to deal with, so I'll play as long as I can and look to do that more when I finish up playing. Yeah, and quite a lot of Hearts fans have as their screensaver on most of their Twitter and their Facebook, you in your Hearts jersey standing over Scott Brown at Tynecastle. Who is your toughest opponent? Who is the player that you look at and you think, I love a battle with him? The obvious one is Brownie. Brownie's been played against him since we came through in the youth team, and Brownie gives as good as he gets, and I'm the same type of player, but that's what it is. For that 90 minutes, it's the will to win, and when you come up against any character that wants to win, it's the same fight every week. Yeah, and do you have that laugh with them when you get to international football? Yeah, we do actually. We have a right good laugh. So, and even now, you maybe bump into each other when you're playing golf or things like that, and these are guys that are. He's only ever been my teammate from internationals, but there is definitely a bond there because we've followed the same path through Scottish football, if you like, which not many players have done. Yeah, and if you are Steven Naismith, the manager, and I'm sitting with you here in 10 years' time, hopefully fingers crossed, will you be a teacup thrower or will you be more calm? I'll be calm. See you in 10 years.